These are the paints I've used in this video. To make some great looking desert bases, we need to start with some texture paste. You want a paste that can maintain thickness, and I find Vallejo do that well. I've used a mix of thick mud and desert sand on some test bases, and you can't tell the difference in the end. I would stay away from GW's Astro Granite however, because it seems the mixtures from the last couple of years don't hold thickness when drying. To make some dunes, cover the base with paste and using a wet stick or spatula, pat the paste, and as you bring it up, move in the direction you want the dune to flow in. You end up making some nice ripples in the texture paste with it. We're also going to make a different desert base, where an old riverbed is dried out and is cracked earth showing. I've made small shoreline dunes along the long edges of the base. While the desert sand is wet, push some rocks into the paste. It doesn't matter what colour the rocks are, as we'll be painting over these so everything is uniform. Using a grelin earth in the middle section once the desert sand has dried, apply it thickly so we get some good cracks as it dries. I also apply some up onto the desert sand to ensure that as the paint dries and contracts, it makes a seamless transition. Leave this to dry before either spraying with mummified khaki from TD Combat or painting with Venetian tan, also from TD Combat. Once everything is dried, give the base a wash with Sienna Wash. This wash has a nice sepia tone to it, which works well with the sand colour and gives us some nice depth and tone, and looks great on the Agrellan earth. Once the wash is dry, using a large dry brush, I use cheap makeup brushes, use a small amount of crypt bone and brush it across either a sponge or some paper towel to leave just a small amount of paint on the bristles, and quickly but lightly brush over the bases. This will catch the highest parts of the base and give us a nice highlight, and it also brings out the shape of the rocks and their hard edges. Once dried, use a matte varnish. Adding some desert tufts from Siege Scenics, in this case Caramel Haze and Dune Shrub. Caramel Haze is a mix of 1-2mm tufts, and Dune Shrub is a mix of 2-4mm tufts, so you get natural variance to each one, and when they're working together you get a realistic effect for natural plant growth. I apply them around the rocks because in real deserts, rock provides protection from grazing, it protects the roots, and it also traps a lot of moisture and nutrients which the plants can use. Once you have applied the tufts, paint the base rims whatever colour you like, but I suggest black. Then they're ready to get your models attached. These ones I've done are for half tilt.